Hi everyone, it's Nicole Spohr and welcome back to my channel and welcome to A Year of Christmas. A Year of Christmas is my 2022 monthly series where once a month I'm going to pop in here with some Christmas ideas. This is a lot like my handmade holiday series that I do in the fourth quarter of the year, but I have so many ideas that I thought it would be really fun to spread them out throughout the year so that I could share them hopefully in enough time to give you guys some or the opportunity to get them done before Christmas season. So I'm actually revisiting one of my all-time favorite die sets, and actually it's two die sets, and I'm showing you that right now. We're going to use the Honeybee Stamps coffee card gift holder, and right now that was the first one I actually showed you is the coffee cup card, and then there's the coffee cup gift card holder. The coffee cup gift card holder folds up and will hold the gift card in place with the coffee cozy around it. The coffee cup card, you can turn it into a shaker card if you want to, which is what I'm going to do today, or you can use a coffee cozy around it as well. We're actually not going to use the coffee cozy because I want to just embellish it with this beautiful clear shaker window. What I thought would be really fun is to show you the same card in both styles. So we're basically creating a shaped gift or a shaped card and then a gift card holder, and hopefully that will, hit one of the things you need. So maybe you need a gift card holder to give a gift, or maybe you just want a beautiful Christmas card. I did die cut all of my components off camera. The top of my coffee cup cards is die cut from Simon Says Stamp slate gray cardstock, and all of the pattern paper is from Lawn Fawn, which is my favorite paper from 2021's Christmas release. I absolutely loved it. And so that is what I'm using today. I'm so sorry I got my head in the way. It was really hard to get this lined up perfectly. And I wanted to add my sentiments for the cards onto the top of the card. So we're actually going to be doing a lot of sentiment stamping today, both on the top of the card, so that right when you open up the envelope and you see the card, whether it's the gift card holder or the coffee shaped card inside, you get a cute little sentiment with a cute image. All of my sentiments and all of my images today are from Pawsome Stamps. I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Pawsome Stamps for sending me some stamps to play with. I absolutely love them. I hope you guys love them too. You can use anything you want on these coffee cup shaped cards. And I mean, just shop your stash, you guys. I really like to encourage you when you're doing all this Christmas crafting to shop your stamps. See what you have in your Christmas stash already. Yes, I like to highlight a lot of different things here, but you can use whatever you have on hand. So I'm mixing and matching. I'm going to tell you the 4 Pawsome Stamps stamp sets I'm using today. I'm using Berry Christmas, Coffee Besties. Now, Coffee Besties, you guys, not Christmas themed. I'm turning it into a Christmas card, but not coffee. Yeah, it is coffee themed. Sorry, not Christmas themed. So maybe you want to take this same idea and make Valentine's gift card holders or Valentine's coffee shaped cards, or you just want to make friendship style cards. You guys, this stamp set is awesome. Again, it's called Coffee Besties. Then I'm using Just Sentiments Christmas and Gingerbread Lane. So the other 3 stamp sets, yes, Christmas themed, but I also wanted to pull in a non-Christmas and show you how you can make it Christmas if you want to. So right now I'm simply mixing and matching. There is going to be 2 of each. One for the big size, or the coffee shaped card size, and one for the gift card shaped size. So they're not the same size. I had to clean my stamp and readjust it to stamp each of the tops of these cards. Obviously, if you wanted to make multiples of one of the styles, you would not have to change it out. But for the sake of this series and this video, I wanted to show you as many styles or different looks as possible. If I was going to make these and mass produce, I totally would not switch it back and forth. I might make 5 in one style and then 5 in another and 5 in another, just so I'm not switching back and forth. Or maybe you want to make all of them the same. So there's lots of ways to kind of plan your attack here. I would love to know in the comments below if you are starting Christmas early. Are you going to work on Christmas cards throughout the year? Do you like that idea? I know I had such positive feedback when I mentioned this a few weeks ago in a live, that this series was coming and that I was planning on doing this monthly. So I would love to hear from you guys if you have specific requests for some things you would like to see in this series during this year. Definitely drop me a comment down below. I would love to hear. Now, I did use a powder tool on each of the tops of my coffee cups, so I am going to need to buff away all of the excess powder from the top of my coffee cup shaped cards so that it looks nice and clear, and then I'm simply going to attach them one at a time. On the gift card holder, I did put it on the front and the back. I don't really know why I didn't do it on the coffee shaped card. You could really go back and add one on the back if you wanted to, or you could leave it off of both of them if you want to. I do think if you do add them to the back and you're using a busy pattern paper like I'm using, and you like to customize the back of your cards with, like, for example, I usually have a Made by Nichol on the back of mine. I think right there would be a great place to place that, as it's going to show up really well. So just a little note for easy reference, I guess, if you're interested at all. So now we're just going to move on to the coffee shaped card. Keep in mind, they're going to look really similar. The difference is the style of card and the size. They're going to be a little bit, the gift card holder will be a little bit smaller, and I will show you them side by side at the end of the video. Now, just like with the top of the card, I am stamping inside of my cards, but because they are not all going to be the same size-wise, they're not, I'm going to have to move my greeting, which is kind of a bummer, but that's okay. And then 2 of the styles have the same sentiment inside. The sentiment I'm using is from Just Sentiments Christmas, and it's called Wishing You a Season of Joy, a Season of Cheer, but most of all, a wonderful year. I have to say, I love the fonts that Pawsome Stamps uses in all of their stamp sets. I really, really love the script, and I love all the fonts. They have really good fonts in all of their stamp sets. So I'm just going to adjust those, but in the coffee card, I actually I use Christmas sentiments on the front. So remember, Coffee Besties, not Christmas themed. So I used Christmas sentiments from other sets, probably I believe I used them from the Just Sentiments Christmas. But on the inside, I opted to put Coffee is Always Better with a Friend, because I thought it was a really good sentiment, and I think it works for Christmas or not. You could obviously stamp all Christmas sentiments inside if you want to. I really like this for the gift card holder, especially because I think it would be really cute to give, like, your crafty bestie a coffee gift card. Now we have our images. I have stamped everything I'm using today on Neenah 110-pound weight smooth white cardstock using Hero Arts Intensified black ink, and I'm coloring with Copic markers. Keep in mind, everything you see on this page will work for 3 cards. I actually stamped this entire thing twice, and I'm going to stamp them color them, I'd stamp them exactly the same as well. We're going to color them exactly the same. The only difference, y'all, is going to be the which size card they go on. I wanted to use the exact same thing just to show you how they work on either style of card. Now, maybe you don't want to do coffee themed cards or coffee cup themed cards. Take the elements from these stamp sets and you could make a traditional shaker card. You could make a gift card holder out of any kind of set you have, an embellish it with some of these same images. So you aren't tied down to a coffee-shaped card. It is just one of my all-time favorites. It's been out, both of these have been out for several years. They are still available, at least the last I checked, which was pretty recently. I love them. I have used them every year, I believe, since I received them, because they are truly one of my favorite things. And I love to show you how to get the most out of the supplies that you already have. Now, I didn't use these publicly, or at least here on YouTube this year, but if you are a member of Patreon, you got to see me use the gift card holders in a Patreon exclusive live this season. Some of my very favorite gift card holders that I made this year. And so yes, I have kept true to form where I've used these every single season. I guess that wouldn't have been this year. That was 2021. We're in 2022, Nicole. Come on. And so this is going to be really fun to kind of play with the Christmas products throughout the year. And when we get to, Christmas season for 2022, hopefully we will have a great selection and collection of cards and gift card holders and little gift bags and tags that are ready to go. Because I know this year I was so poorly behind, and I did not have a good plan in place, and I just felt like I was playing catch up all season long. So my goal this year with this series, and also Handmade Holiday, which you're kind of going to get a double dose there then at the end of the year, is to really working on a little bit of Christmas throughout the entire year. Now, I opted to do kind of a non-traditional color combination. I have used so much of my Lawn Fawn Let It Shine pattern paper that I don't really have a lot of green or red of that collection left over, or not big enough pieces. I have like some 6x6, and then I have some scraps of the 12x12. But something to keep in mind when I was showing you the cards at the beginning, I did use 12x12 paper to die cut all of those. You can use 8.5x11 cardstock if you want to as well. So just make sure, like 6x6 is not going to work unless you piece it together, which you definitely can do. If you guys want to see me maybe piece something together like that, can you let me know in the comments? I am starting like some little short videos. It's not going to be like a complete project, but it's going to be more of like things people ask me. And I'm going to try to incorporate some of those videos here on my channel, just little how-tos, if you will. So if you would like to see how you might piece together a bigger die like this with some smaller paper, drop me a comment, please. The bear and the ornaments are from BEARY Christmas. Probably my favorite, next to the Christmas cupcakes, which I didn't use today, from their 2021 release from Pawsome Stamps. I love the bear with the reindeer ears. I think he's so, so cute. You can put lights in his antlers. I'm going to hang the ornaments, and there's also 2 gift packages, 2 snowflakes, and 2 sentiments. It's a 4x6 stamp set, you guys. It is awesome. Probably my favorite from the 2021 Christmas release from them. Then this mug, both mugs, so the one I'm coloring now and the one with the kitty popping out. There's also like a little puppy. It looks like a little bulldog popping up out of one of the mugs. And then there's some images that don't have critters. That's Coffee Besties, not Christmas. I'm coloring mine Christmas themed, obviously, with that red and green mug. Now this is going to be a blue mug, but that matches the paper, which is what I was talking about, wasn't it? Before I went off on my little tangent there about if you want to see smaller paper. I don't have red and green left of that collection. So there's lots of aquas, teals, gray, white in there. And that's what I opted to use instead, because it's still snowflake themed and it doesn't have to be Christmas, which is something I probably should hit on here as well. Maybe you just need a wintry theme card. I think the snowflakes would be cute for that as well. Or maybe just a wintry birthday card, or a wintry birthday card holder something like that. You could definitely kind of maybe switch things around. I wouldn't use some of the more Christmassy images, but like the coffee mugs and all of that would be super cute. If you fussy cut the bear and left the antlers off, just with his cute little scarf, you could use him just like that and he would be cute, and he would be fairly easy to fussy cut. That would be one that I would not mind fussy cutting because it's got nice smooth edges all the way around. So there's just a couple of little ideas of how maybe you could customize it for other seasons and occasions as well. And I love this little kitty in here with the glasses and the whip topping on top of its head. We're going to customize this mug though with a snowflake from Berry Christmas. So it just is going to customize it a little bit so it looks a little more holiday-ish. You could stamp something else small on the front of here if you wanted to. There's like a little wreath in the gingerbread lane. I think that would be cute on the front of the mug if you want to do something like that, or a peppermint. Just something to give it more of a Christmas feel and flair. Since I'm using the snowflake paper, I thought the snowflake from Berry Christmas would be really, really cute. The size of these images to color are also really nice. So if you maybe don't particularly love super teeny tiny, these are, I know some of the images are smaller, but like the mugs, the bear, the gingerbread house, and even the gingerbread girl, all are really nice size. I love this set. I know I've said that, or these sets, I've said that over and over, but please check out Pawsome Stamps because they have some incredible images. I know they just had a recent release here in January with some really cute stuff and very, very fun images. I'm always loving when there's new or new to me companies and new images to stamp and color. To make my candy canes a little more interesting, and these are from Gingerbread Lane, but I am going to add them to the mugs because it helps kind of create more of that Christmas feel. I made one of them red and white, and then I made one pink and green for added color. Then our gingerbread house, there isn't really enough room, at least on my card. If you are going to make maybe an A2 size card or a bigger size card of some sort or a slimline, you could add more images from Gingerbread Lane and that would be super cute. There wasn't enough real estate space at the bottom or the center of my coffee cup cards to add more images, because I definitely would have added more gingerbread people if it was a bigger card. I wanted to use the house, and so I picked one image because I felt like one with the house was about the max that I could do and still not have the card seem super overcrowded. I added a little R20 for her cheeks to give her a little pink cheeks. There's a gingerbread boy, a gingerbread girl, and then a gingerbread man with a chunk out of him, and then he has a little sad face, which I think is cute too. We're going to hang these ornaments from our bear's antlers. Like I said, there's also the string of lights, which would be really cute. I have sped up the coloring a little bit, otherwise we would be here forever. When I do these videos that have multiple cards, they do tend to take a little bit. I would say total time this project took me to make was 3 hours, and that is the coloring time too. The coloring took the longest, and then because I did all of my die cutting, then I did all of my stamping, then I did all my stamping of sentiments, then I did all my stamping of images, all of my coloring of images, all of my die cutting of images. I will give you a little tip for time saving. I did not use it. I used the metal dies that coordinate with this. But if you want to time save and you're creating multiple images, I highly suggest a Brother Scan and Cut. I recently prepped a project where I'm doing multiples of a single card, and instead of using the coordinating dies, I actually used my Scan and Cut so that it would cut them all at once, and it was such a time saver. So if you want to make multiples, it is a fantastic product to have. I did use the metal dies though to die cut my images today. My gingerbread house, I used a different brown color combination than the bear. This is E55 and 57. The bear was E40, 43, 44, and 47. It's a little bit warmer tone, and I would say E55 and 57 is a little cooler. And I felt like it just looks a little more gingerbread housey to me. The gumdrops have to be my favorite thing. And this is another image that if I was doing a different style card, I would have done way more of the gumdrops, because there is an individual gumdrop as well. And I think that they're really cute. And the finishing on the gumdrop is probably my favorite thing. We're going to actually put a little Nuvo Crystal Drops in White Blizzard. If you've been here for any length of time, you know how much I love Nuvo Crystal Drops in White Blizzard. It dries clear but sparkly, which to me gives that look of a sugared gumdrop. I did add a little dot detail if you don't have Nuvo Crystal Drops, a little dot detail with your darker marker, and then either some little dot detail with a white pen or a sparkle pen will give you a similar look. I am going to color the top of the house a little bit darker. So I did go in with E57, which is my darkest color for the gingerbread house, but then I'm going to blend in a little E49 as well. I love the little heart detail on the door. I love little hearts. A lot of the images, the smaller images, are from Gingerbread Lane, and you can use them on any of the cards. We're also going to color the door E59 and E57, with the doorknob being, I think, warm gray 8, but it doesn't matter because the gingerbread girl is actually going to cover it up, and then you're never going to see it. So once we have everything here colored, the roof, I did do like, I think a little E40 just to give it a hint of color. I wanted it to kind of look like white frosting. And then like all the little candies on the roof, we're going to just do in any of these colors that you've seen me use throughout the rest of the coloring here. So everything I did right here, I'm actually going to repeat for the second group of cards. Everything here will make 3 cards, and then I will do another set for another 3 cards. We'll die cut everything, and then we are going to put together the shaker card first, and then we're going to do all the shakers first, and then I will show you how to put together the gift card holder. I added some little white highlights with a white gel pen. I did not go over the top, just a few little things here and there, especially for hearts, ornaments, the bear's nose, and things like that. Now, before we die cut anything, if you want to customize one of the coffee cups with something like a solid snowflake, which I want to stamp and emboss, I would suggest doing that first before you die cut it. I'm stamping this with clear embossing and watermark ink, heat embossing with white embossing powder for a bright white snowflake. I love that. And then die cutting. And I'm going to tell you my favorite thing about the coordinating dies here is that the mugs handles die cut out. Best thing ever. I love when companies die cut that handle out and don't leave it as a solid white piece. It literally makes me so, so happy. We're going to grab our components for the shaker card. For the shaker card, I die cut the card itself from the Lawn Fawn Let It Shine paper. I die cut the frame for the front of the card from the opposite side of the Let It Shine paper. I use that same frame to die cut 4 frames from smooth white cardstock. We're going to use that as the dimensional part to make this a shaker card. And I also took the card itself and I just did a partial die cut of the card from acetate to make the shaker window. I'm adding some black, jelly roll pen to the eyes on the bear, as well as a few more highlights. We're going to take our card front then, and I'm going to take the frame and I'm going to trim down the acetate. I use the acetate instead of the frame. That way the acetate window is a little bit bigger. We're going to secure the frame to the acetate with some double-sided adhesive. This is 1/8 inch adhesive from Lawn Fawn. It's super skinny, and this is going to create that great frame to frame up our little shaker bits for the front of our coffee-shaped shaker card. I like to use the Spellbinders Tool-in-One to remove the backing paper from around the coffee edge. I'm also going to peel back the sides on itself. I'm not going to remove the backing paper all the way. And then we're going to take the acetate. This is some Hero Arts acetate. I purposely used an acetate that is easy to die cut. Some acetates are thick. They work great for other things, but they don't work great to die cut. And I wanted to die cut the coffee cup shaped card perfectly. And so kind of my go-to for that is either Lawn Fawn or Hero Arts acetate. And I don't know why I had so much trouble adhering this one, but I did. Then we're going to just secure that. I'll pull out the sides, and there's the front of our window. You can do this now one of two ways. I did it two different ways for my cards. So I'm going to adhere the frames on the back or the acetate side of my window. I'm running a thin line of glue and stacking them one on top of another. Now I started this and then I thought, you know, I really don't want to take my card to this necessarily. I'd rather put my shaker bits in the card itself. So I'm going to show you, and I left it in the video because I wanted to show you how I adjusted this. I'm actually going to run a thin line of glue around my card front, and I'm going to stack those remaining 2 layers right here. So the dimension is created with 4 of these coffee cup frames from white cardstock. And I'm going to fill my shaker with some little sequin mix here. It's a sequin snowflake mix and then some little star confetti. I've been using up anything I have. I have so much extra stuff like this that I really have been in a mood to use what I have. And then we're just going to take the rest of them and place it on top. And this worked great. I would definitely suggest letting this sit and completely dry. You're not going to see me shake this until the end of the video when the glue is all the way dry. So I did put some heavy acrylic blocks on top of this as well to hold those layers nice and flat. You could use foam adhesive if you want to. I'm going to tell you why I didn't. This is a thin design. I feel like the cardstock just gives a much cleaner finished look than trying to use foam adhesive around there. So I really, really recommend that, but you can definitely do whatever you like there. I'm going to go ahead and glue the ornaments to the bear antlers. Now this shaker card is probably the shaker that shows the least amount of shaking, just because the bear does take up a lot of the window, but you can see all the shaker around it. So it's still got that great effect. Just keep that in mind. The other 2 cards, you're going to see a lot more of the shaker material. Aren't those little ornaments in the antlers so fun? Now, to finish the front of the card, we're going to put glossy accents on the nose and on the ornaments. I love some glossy accents on different things on my card. So you're going to see a lot of that throughout all 3 cards today. I'm going to also take my black jelly roll pen and add detail to eyes and the nose for the kitty, and my gingerbread girl as well. I always like to finish with a little black jelly roll pen. Let's pop the rest of our images out and let's put together our remaining 2 shaker cards. I'm going to embellish the center of the snowflake with a little red heart embellishment. This is a candy apple heart from Trinity Stamps. I like that little pop of red in the center of the snowflake. I'm also going to place a heart on the bear's chest. I know that's slightly out of frame, but at the end of the video, you'll see them all finished side by side. Now the, pardon me, I think we're doing the mug cup next. And the mugs, we're going to combine the 2 mugs with 2 candy canes. Oh, and I did take a black pen and draw in some little lines so that it appears that the ornaments are hanging a little bit more and not just out there in outer space. And I added some white highlights over the black Jelly Roll pen of the eyes. Isn't that fun? We're going to set that aside to dry. Now I'm going to speed it up a little bit and I'm going to show you how I finished the other shaker cards. This time we are going to put the white one on top of another right here, then fill it, then place the frame on the acetate and place the acetate frame over the shaker material. This was much, much quicker. Put some acrylic blocks on top. They're my go-to for holding everything nice and flat. Just trim up the acetate window. We're going to go around the edges, again with our double-sided adhesive. Peel off the backing paper. Place that over the acetate. And then I'll pull out the 2 backing papers on the sides. Fill the shaker with more snowflakes, sequins, and stars. Draw a nice thin line of glue around and place the window in place. At this point, you can basically add any images you want to the front of the shaker, or maybe even a really fun die cut or a die cut sentiment. I am going to position my mugs down here along the bottom edge of my shaker window. The glue hasn't dried quite all the way. In fact, I'm just going to put some acrylic blocks on top off camera to help hold that all nice and flat. I'm tucking my candy canes back behind, and that instantly adds to that holiday-ish feel that I wanted to do for this mug card. Now, because this doesn't cover quite as much of the window, I am going to add a couple of more hearts to my card. These are those candy apple hearts from Trinity Stamps. And we're just going to kind of pull those up a little bit. We're going to take glossy accents and place them on the glasses that the cat is wearing so that that's going to dry completely clear, but have that glossy raised finish. And there is our mug card. For the gingerbread card, we're basically going to do the exact same thing. This time though, we're going to place our gingerbread house down here along the bottom edge. How cute is that, you guys? I love it. I love the "Oh snap, you make the holidays sweet." I'm going to figure out where I want to put my gingerbread girl. I decided I liked her better down near the front door, not peeking out from the top of the house or something weird like that. It just didn't look right to me. I'm going to pop her up with some foam adhesive though, because I think the dimension will help. I did stamp and color those little hearts that I think will look cute coming out of the chimney. I'm going to take the Nuvo Crystal Drops in White Blizzard and add those to the gumdrops. That's going to give them that sugary, glittery effect. Once I glue the hearts down in place, we are going to take some glossy accents for the hearts, for the heart on the front door, and also for all the little candies along the roof line. Little teeny tiny drops, and then we're going to set that aside to completely dry. So we are ready to move on to the gift card holders. All the coloring exactly the same, just the assembly will be slightly different. For these, I'm going to take my images and we're going to secure the top of the cup down, and then you can just slip the cup right underneath that flap. Just make sure your adhesive isn't too far down. I don't know what my problem was here. Just slip it under there. And then to hold the card shut, we are going to be using the Coffee Cozy. And our images are actually going to be secured to the coffee cozy only, not the card front, because this cozy is going to slip off and allow you to, or allow the recipient to open up the card and remove the gift card. So the cozy wraps around. I purposely die cut it from the other side of the pattern paper for that nice contrast. I'm going to figure out where my bear is going to go. Yes, his antlers slightly cover up the sentiment, but that's totally okay since this is removable. And I'm going to place the adhesive only on the back of his head so that only the cozy is secured. Now, once I have that, I'm going to slide that off, add the black jelly roll pen to his eyes, add the little white highlights, and then we're going to glue the ornaments in place and add glossy accents. I want to do this while it's off of the coffee shaped gift card holder so that in case if there's any glue on the back of the ornaments, it doesn't glue the ornaments to the card front. We want that to dry so that it will remove independently or move independently of the card and you're able to remove that. So that's why I slid that off once I figured out my placement. I'm going to have to be a little careful with adhering the ornaments to the antlers here because I want to make sure that they are enough on the antlers that I can glue them in place and that they're not going to fall off. And I love this. I think this is going to be so cute, just like so. I'm going to draw some little lines so again it appears that they're hanging. We will finish with glossy accents on the nose and the ornaments, just like we did before. I do want to add that little heart embellishment to his chest. Everything is really similar. It's just not a shaker card. It's going to be a gift card holder instead. I love when you can take the same images and the same or similar products and create something a little bit different to really make it work for your needs. I'm going to set that aside to dry and let's put together our last two gift card holders. So again, adhesive, fold that flap over. You can leave it loose. I will tell you it's probably easier to keep it loose, but it really flips up and bothers me and I don't like it. So that is why I go ahead and secure mine down. I just don't put adhesive too close to the bottom. That way you can slide the cup or the front of the cup underneath that little ledge. This is going to be the gingerbread house card. For this one, again, it's easiest to put a little of that 1/8 inch double-sided adhesive on the tab, fold up the coffee cozy, slip it on the card so you can really figure out where you want the house to go. Now, the one thing about the house, the gingerbread house card is remember we have the little hearts coming out of the chimney. Well, they really, I couldn't figure out a way to glue them onto that really well. But I think there's room underneath the sentiments along the top of the cup. So I'm going to glue them right there, which you'll see here in a second. I'm going to figure out my placement for the house right here in the center. Everything about this is going to be the same, right down to popping up our gingerbread girl, adding some sparkles, adding the Nouveau crystal drops and white blizzard to the gumdrops, the glossy accents to the hearts and the candies on the roof. But I'm going to glue those hearts to the top of the coffee cup. So those actually won't slide. Those are just going to stay in place. But I want to make sure that the glue is only on the top of the cup and not on the white part. So much fun. I love these images. And then we're going to finish the last one, the cup with the mugs. And we're just going to tip those both at an angle. And add glossy accents, add the candy canes. One thing to keep in mind, I almost had a big boo-boo there, is glue the candy canes to the coffee cozy and not to the front of the card. Or if they are on the front of the card, just make sure they don't get caught. you probably could do it either way. I kind of preferred on the cozy, which is where I almost had the boo-boo and I had to move some glue out of the way, which you'll see here in a second. I'm still adding all of that glossy accents. This one has a lot since it has the Nouveau Crystal drops as well. Just showing you how they match. My bear is all finished, so I'm going to go ahead and slide him in place too. And I used the gray, the white, and the aqua pattern papers from the Lawn Fawn Let It Shine 12 by 12 paper pack. There's also red, green, and teal. And I used the side of the paper that has the silver foiling. And then I used the flat pattern paper for coffee cozies or the frame of the shaker, which is just the opposite side of that sheet of cardstock. I was able to get 2 cards out of 1 sheet, plus have some little scraps left over. Okay, once I have everything glued in place for my card, I'm going to show you all 6 cards side by side, as well as how you place a gift card holder inside of the coffee cup gift card holder cards, and then show you the shaking of the shaker card. You can hear it here. Because it's so cute. I love that it has that great shaker. Shakers continue to be one of my all-time favorite interactive cards. I don't know about you guys, but I still absolutely love them. I also really love that we've kind of gotten away from using so much foam tape always for shakers, that there's a lot more fun things like being able to just stack die cuts to create that dimension. Here with the coffee-shaped card, I show you how it can stand up. Here's the gift card holder. You slide your gift card right inside there, slip the top of the card underneath the top flap. I promise it's really not that hard. I was having a day. And then you slip the cozy on to keep it secure, and the gift card holder will not fall out. So let's do that again. I'll just take another one. I had a few leftover Starbucks gift cards here. Slide that right underneath there, slip the cozy on, and it fits right inside of an A2 size envelope. I hope you guys have enjoyed the January 2022 installment of my monthly year-long series called A Year of Christmas with these coffee shaker cards and gift card holders. The supplies I use to create my cards are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here is another video featuring some holiday and Christmas type projects that you might be interested in. I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to my Patreon members. If you would like to become a member of Patreon, please click the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to always be notified when I have a new video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.